Alright boys and girls, let's get into it. Hello dear viewer, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, host Jan. I hope you are all doing well. I really do hope that. Namaste, dear friends. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I go across the media headlines, see what's being said, consolidate it for you, dear sweet friend, read it out and react to it. We have fun together. Today I'm going to be delving into the Athletic article talking about Haaland, Lukaku and Kane, the holy trinity of desired strikers, and how Chelsea are still in for all three of the blighters. Also, I'll be dipping into an article by the Metro talking about Malang Sarr. Remember him and how Thomas Tuchel's had a discussion with him, and in the wake of a disappointing exit of Mark Gurhey, maybe Malang Sarr will come in as a player Chelsea already own and be in the first team squad. Interesting. Get yourself comfortable, pour yourself a drink, friend, subscribe, hey, if you want to, and if you do, hit the bell notifications icon and drop a like. It all helps me out, friends. Right then, let's dip into the first story of today's video and talk about the Frenchman Malang Sarr. That's right, friends, with one emotional departure from one Frenchman in Olivier Giroud to Malang Sarr possibly coming into the first team to play. Obviously, I want to give a word on Olivier Giroud, who has said his goodbyes to the Chelsea fans. Has arrived at Milan. He's taken the number 9 shirt there. He's going to play with Tomori, which is really, really cool. Big thank you to Olivier Giroud. Scored some really important goals for us. Top goal scorer in the Champions League. Top goal scorer in the Europa League wins, both respectively. Scored loads of goals to help us get into the top 4. Won the Europa League, Champions League and FA Cup with Chelsea. Cult hero. Absolutely superb. Thank you very much, Olivier Giroud. Right then, so it's pre-season, loads of players are back, not all of them of course. We got Mason Mount and gang on holiday singing Sweet Caroline, I saw a video just now. But there's a bunch of returning loanees and other players that Tuchel is currently looking at as we speak at Cobham, and Malang Sarr has had a conversation with him and is being considered for the first team squad. Remember, Chelsea got him on a free last summer alongside Thiago Silva on a free, with the intention to immediately send him on loan, which we did to Porto. A left-footed centre-back, built very, very well. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest. I looked at him a little bit when we signed him, but I haven't really thought about him ever since. I don't think he had a great loan spell, so perhaps people had him fade from their memory, but he's at Cobham, he's ambitious, he's spoken to Tuchel, and we're going to be jumping into a Metro article to give you some information on this. Returning Chelsea defender Malang Sarr says he is ready to help the team to the top after holding positive talks with head coach Thomas Tuchel. Sarr arrived at Chelsea with a promising reputation from Nice back in August 2020, but was immediately sent on a season-long loan to Porto last term and is yet to feature for the Blues. Well, of course he's yet to feature because he was on a season-long loan and we've only had him for a season. It's also important to note that was always the plan. We didn't buy him, he was free. We didn't sign him and go, oh actually no, go on loan. It was always the plan. He knew that when signing that he was to go on loan immediately. The 22-year-old centre-back made 19 first-team appearances for the Portuguese outfit in all competitions, impressing against the likes of Manchester City and Juventus in the Champions League. Sarr will have been desperate to make a good impression as he joined up with his Chelsea teammates for pre-season training this month, but there has been talk that he could be set for another temporary switch away from Stamford Bridge for the forthcoming campaign. However, it appears the Frenchman is ready to battle for his place under Tuchel and is intent on making his mark sooner rather than later in West London. Positive, if we're looking at centre-halves or a centre-half, he should at least be considered, maybe as a deputy to Antonio Rudiger in the left centre-back spot. Rudiger's been absolutely incredible there, making good passes with his left foot as well, but bringing in Malang Sarr as a natural left footer could do bits there as well and be a vital member of the squad. Maybe. Let's hear what Malang Sarr had to say. "It's a pleasure to be here. Starting to work, we are working very hard and very well, so I'm happy. I'm enjoying being here," he told Chelsea's official website. "I've spoken a little bit with the manager. He knows I speak French, so we've been talking. I have a good feeling here. Everybody is very good with me. I can feel everybody is very ambitious. They want to work and they really want us to give the best every day. And that's a good thing because that's how I see things. I really want to work hard every day and improve in every aspect. I hope to join the team and help the team to the top." Ambitious words there from young Malang Sarr. They finished the season as kings of Europe. "I'm here to help and to let the team stay at the highest level, trying to bring all the good energy and my work to the team. I know the club is ambitious and I am ambitious as well. So it's a perfect match." So he's saying all the right things. He wants to work hard, whatever, but he does look like he wants to work hard. I saw him last pre-season. Dude is like shredded, no body fat on him whatsoever, super athletic. So you can see, to get to that kind of physique, yes, you absolutely have to work very hard. Look, the fact how Chelsea are interviewing him and like publishing him saying, "I want to fight for the team, I want to do well," kind of infers that he might stay with the squad. If they, Chelsea might have spoken to the manager and he might have gone, "Yeah, it's good he's training well, but I think he'll probably go on loan," then personally, I don't think they'd be publishing this kind of stuff because I think it would be kind of unfair. Like, "Yeah, I want to fight for the team, but see you, mate, you're going." Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he was a really highly rated youngster at Nice that wouldn't sign a new deal, run down his contract, and signed a good contract with Chelsea. Chelsea hoovering up a good piece of talent. I don't think he had the most sensational loan at Porto, but I still think he's a highly rated player. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel speaks fluent French, so he'll be talking to him, sort of trying to work him out, watching him in training, and who knows, maybe he will be considered for the first team squad. Look, I don't think he's going to displace Antonio Rudiger straight away, but I think he'll be a good rotational option for that left-hand side. Obviously, we saw Zuma play a little bit there. I'm not entirely sure how highly Tuchel rates Zuma in terms of his playstyle and profile for his football. Maybe he thinks Malang Sarr is a good option there. We'll have to see. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on this story, of course, and keep you guys updated or here on Football Therapy. Right, let's move on to the second part of the video and talk about strikers reported from The Athletic. That's right, David Ornstein wrote his column in The Athletic, spoke about a bunch of players that are moving or could be moving this summer transfer window. 3 players that also had Chelsea mentioned alongside them were, of course, Erling Haaland, surprisingly still, Harry Kane, and indeed surprisingly still, Romelu Lukaku, which I want to go into today. I'm going to cite 3 passages from this Athletic article where they're referencing said players with Chelsea Football Club, and I'll react to it respectively. Let's start with Erling Haaland, as most of us know the situation with the Norwegian striker. The Athletic revealed in January that Chelsea are prepared to smash their current transfer record, brackets currently at 71.6 million for Kepa, to sign Haaland, and hopes among supporters of a deal have been raised by the decision to allow Olivier Giroud to leave to AC Milan. In one sense, it would have been easier for Chelsea to sign Haaland this summer than next. They can use their financial might to agree a fee with Dortmund, then they would face less competition for the player in the next 12 months when a release clause of €75 million kicks in. From the player's point of view, waiting until the release clause kicks in would put them in a slightly stronger position for a higher salary and agent fees, as the transfer fee wouldn't have used up so much of the budget. However, senior figures at Chelsea were surprised by reports suggesting they believe a bid of €150 million would be enough to land Haaland this summer, as they are of the view Dortmund have no interest in selling him this window. Dortmund have no interest in selling him this window. Senior figures at Chelsea were surprised to read this report that there is a figure that would see him move. It does look like it is very, very, very unlikely Chelsea are able to sign Erling Haaland this summer. Maybe they come to an agreement with, if Chelsea, this is complete speculation, so do not take this as gospel. Maybe if Chelsea come to the decision of, okay, we're not going to sign Haaland this summer, we've got to wait a year, maybe they give Dortmund €100 million and say, give him to us for next season, loan him back for this year, and then they just make sure they get him next season. Do you know what I mean? Something like that to lock him down, and then they have to go for a season with no new striker or a secondary striker because Giroud's gone and whatever. We'll see what happens there. It's not looking good for Haaland. Anything can happen in transfers, but it's not looking good. Next up, a quick paragraph on Harry Kane. Chelsea would also like to sign Kane and have sought out to establish his intentions. Some industry sources believe that might be more appealing to Levy because a cash plus player deal involving players as Tammy Abraham, for example, may be more realistic in terms of affordability and positional requirements than what Man City could offer. Whether Kane would be willing to risk the wrath of the Spurs fans by moving to their London rivals is another thing entirely, and there is no suggestion of a concrete approach yet. Yeah, regarding Harry Kane, the reports suggest that Chelsea put the feelers out to see what would Kane want, would Tottenham be interested. Of course, Tottenham and Daniel Levy would hate selling to Chelsea because of the Willian history and the Luka Modric history and all that kind of stuff. But this report suggests if they can't get X amount for him, maybe they get a little bit less and a player they need like Tammy Abraham to play up front. Again, speculative from David Ornstein and The Athletic there, but that could be the case. You know, maybe. Right, let's move on and talk about the final elite striker in Romelu Lukaku. Should Chelsea concede in their pursuit of Haaland, then making one more attempt to re-sign Lukaku will be on their agenda. It won't be easy either. Lukaku, who was sold by Chelsea to Everton 3 years after joining from Anderlecht in 2011, is happy at Inter and playing in Serie A. He's valued at over £100 million, which is a lot to pay for a 28-year-old. The departure of influential manager Antonio Conte, a man with whom Lukaku had a special bond, has been softened. New Inter coach Simone Inzaghi quickly held talks with the Belgian international to keep him on side. By selling Achraf Hakimi to Paris Saint-Germain in a deal worth up to £60 million, Inter's financial troubles have been eased. However, questions remain, and they could sell another big name if there is an offer too good to refuse. Chelsea enjoy a good relationship with the forward's agent, Federico Pastorello, and the player himself has always felt that there's a case of unfinished business at Stamford Bridge. Look, Chelsea want an elite striker. If they somehow end the transfer window with Romelu Lukaku, you'll get a lot of happy Chelsea fans. I think there's an idea that perhaps he wasn't treated the best way at Manchester United, and you marry that with an absolutely evident elevation of his level at Inter Milan. Conte has made him a much better player. You marry those things together and you've got an elite, hungry striker in his prime, ready to win more titles. He's just won his first league title. He'll be hungry to win more, and perhaps if he does get the idea of moving in his head as a positive, where better to go than the champions of Europe? But that's right, Chelsea are the champions of Europe. Who knows, these things could still happen. You know, it's not likely, I don't think personally, and Chelsea still could end up with a different striker. I mean, personally, I'm just interested in another striker, another signing. If Thomas Tuchel gives his blessing, then we can be hopeful. I'll of course keep you guys updated on any developments when it comes to transfers and news, so make sure you keep it locked here, that you're subscribed and have the bell notifications icon pressed. Alright friends, that's it for me today, so keep it locked, enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.